don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that
Beautiful people, welcome to the pattern making of the project. This is for me the most essential part of the sewing business. So I would just want us to work together and follow attentively as we go. Today we'll be making a pattern for this simple, beautiful, sexy, classy bodycon jumpsuit, and you will be able to make your very own piece, the one that fits very well if you follow closely as we break the process into units. So we'll begin with getting acquainted with the measurement required for our project. The essential measurement needed for this project is our chest measurement. I wrote here armpit, but let's just call it chest measurement. And the chest measurement required for this project is 31 inches. We also need the waist measurement, which is 26. We need the hip measurement, which is 36, and our crotch measurement is 12. You will get to know that as we go. And the full length is 25. The full length here is from this point here to this point here. So this is what we have from here to here now. So how did we get the pattern that is already registered here in this pattern paper? What I did is, when I do my pattern, I work with I try to get the biggest circumference of the measurement required for the project. And the biggest circumference here in this project is my hips, and the hips here, as we can see, is 36 inches. So what I do next is I divide 36 into 4, and that gives me 9 inches. Already we know we are going to work with a stretch fabric. I don't know if I mentioned that before. So now that we've gotten our 9 inches, I am going to subtract 1 inch from this 9 inches to get a very snugging fit. So that leaves us with the 8 inches. So the vertical measurement we got here, the horizontal measurement we got here is 16. So 8 plus 8 gives us 16. So this is the 16 here, since we are going to make the front and the back piece of the project on the same pattern paper. So this is the front piece, and then this is going to be the back piece of our project. So now, how did we get this other vertical line here? The vertical line here, I told you the full length is 25. So this was from here to this point here is this 25 we got here. So from here to here is 25, and also, as you can see, all the vertical lines are 25. So what we got here is 16 by 25. So now we divided our 16 into 2 to get our 8 here and our 8 here. So you will see how that goes. So how did we get this other part here? What I did was I brought my ruler. I came down here 1.5 inch, and I marked my 1.5 inch here. And across here I marked 1/2 inch here, and then I square across at that 1.5. So this was where it was. Next, I came in with my underwire. This is really essential. You will need this. This I got from AliExpress. So I got this, and I just rolled this across to get the marking of my underwire. So the next thing I did here was to come in with my tape, which is longer, and then my underbust normally is always 13 or 12.5, but for this project I'm going to use 13. So from my underbust to my waist is 16. So instead of me to stress my head, I just put my tape here where I know where my underbust is, and then I mark here 16, which is the line for my waist. And the next measurement we are going to look for is going to be our hip line. So my hip line for this project is going to be 24. So I marked my hips here 24. And then we go to the back too. We try to see what we got here. We got 7 here, so we also go to the back and then we marked 7. And we got 15. We also go to the back and then mark it here. So what we're going to do now is we square across. And also, so this is our waist and this is our hip line. And then from my waist to here I got 12. So this is my crotch from my hips here. How did I get my crotch? Let me show you something. So how to get your crotch depth is I put my tape here on my waist and then I bring it down here in between my leg to the center of my leg here. I open my leg and then I put it to the center of my leg here, like what you have in your pant. So what I got for me was 12 inches. So that is how I got my crotch. So I register my crotch here 12. So from hips to my crotch, what does it give me? It gives me 4. So I register the 4 and here, and then we square across to get a straight line. I hope you're following. I hope it's easy to follow. Now we are going to start working on the shape of our pattern. The first thing we are going to consider here is going to be our chest measurement. So for the chest measurement is 31. So we divide the 31 by 4. And then what we got was 7.25. So I'm still going to ignore 1 inches and then I would mark 6.25 here. Okay, let's just work with 6.5 here. And then for my waist, 26 divided by 4 gives me 6.5. So I'm going to work with 5.5 here. And our hips has already been established. So what we're going to do now is we square from waist to hips, and then we square from chest to waist. And at this part here, at the hemline, I come in 1 inch here. So what do we do at this point here? So what I'm going to do here is I will come in here 1 inch. If you notice, this pattern will not have a line here in the middle here. So we are not projecting our crotch outside, we are bringing it inside. So how do we get this line here neat? You just bring your curve ruler and put it from your crotch down to where you have your 1 inches deduction, and this is what we got here. We don't want to leave this our line here like this, so we have to smoothen it. So what we did is come in with a curve ruler and then we smoothen our lines. You can already see the beautiful shape that we have here in our project. So if you don't want this other side to be like this too, you can also smoothen it either with a curve ruler or with your hand. So the front piece of the pattern is ready. So now we are going to dive into the back piece of the pattern. We are going to do almost exactly the same thing we did with the front piece of the pattern. We are going to go here with 6.5, and we come in here with 5.5, and then our hips has already been defined for us. We don't need to do anything about that. And then we connect our markings, very easy like this. And then we'll still come in here again, 1/2 inch, to shape the down part of the hemline. And with our curved ruler, we still smoothen the sharp edges like so. And I don't like the back of my dresses to just go straight this way. So what I do is I'm going to come in here 3 inches or 4, as you may please, and then connect the line with the chest part of it. And if you are like me and still wanted to come in a little bit, to curve it a little bit more, I came in with 0.5, and with my curve ruler I gave it a little bit of shape. So this is what it is. So at my crotch line here would project outside, so I decided to mark my 3 inches here. You already noticed that our crotch here was not protruding, so everything that was lost from here, we're going to actualize it. We're going to get it from this other side of the project. So now that we've gotten our marking, I would want to come down here 1/2 inch here, and then connect my crotch. So now that my crotch has been connected, I will extend from this point here 1 inch, and then I meet the lines here and I square across. It's as easy as this. So for now, our project is almost ready. But if you want to still add a little bit of curve here, you can come in 0.5 and use it to shape the back of your project. But if you take out the 0.5, that means you have to come out here again and mark 0.5 here and give it the ease we lost from here. We're going to put it back from the side. So this is the front and the back piece of our project. Very easy. So the next one we're going to work on now is going to be how to get this part here that covers our breast and work down to the back strap here. Or let's say the next pattern we're going to build now is going to be this bustier here that runs from the breast to the back strap. So this works together. So we are going to find that. How do we get this strap and bustier together? We are going to find the biggest circumference here, which happens to be from here to here, and then after that we're going to find how long our bustier strap is. So from this point here to this point is 8.5, and the length from the beginning of the bustier to the strap is 24 inches. And that 24 inches depend on how stretchy your fabric is. Don't forget that. So what we have here now, the horizontal lines from here to here is 8.5, and the vertical line is from here to here 25. So that gives us 8 by 25. So now we are going to find the front part, the front piece and the back piece and the side piece of our project. So for the front piece now, I am going to bring my tape to the end of this 25, and then I will mark here 2 inches. I come to the side and I mark 3 inches here. And with my ruler, my curved ruler, I give it a beautiful curve. Just like so. So we're going to move along. The next point we are going to find is from my underbust to my chest measurement. So from my underbust to my chest is 7 inches. From my chest to my shoulder is normally 13 inches. So I mark my 13 inches and also mark 11 inches because we have something to do there. And what we are going to do again is square our line from 7 inches, 11 inches, and 13 inches. So from the chest here, we need 5.5 from both sides. So the 5.5, you're just going to bend your tape here. If you don't have a calculator, bend your tape from here to 5.5 and squeeze it a bit at the end and open it. What you have at the center, place it in the middle here, and then mark here. So that gives you an equal measurement here. So the next measurement we are going to mark here is going to be 3. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 here and 1.5 here. The next here on my shoulder, I want my straps to be small, so I'm going to mark 1 inch from this side and mark 1 inch. And at the top here, this is going to be the back of my strap here that sits at the back of the dress. So I mark 1 there. So don't forget, this is 5.5 and this is 3, this is 2, and then this is 2 inches too. So we connect our dots like so. I hope this is also easy for you to do. So I'm going to add a little bit of bulge here on the front side of my measurement, and then from this side I'm going to so let's work with my hand. I want to have this look here. This side is going to cover my breast a bit and this side is going to go in a bit. So if at the end of your pattern should be looking something like this. So this is my center and this is the side of the pattern. And while you're sewing, don't forget to gather a bit of hair from here to here. Just do a little bit of gathering, let's see, or just mark 1 inch here, and that from that 1 inch, maybe you may go in a little bit like 4 inches, and then gather it a bit so that it can really stay on your breast. Or if you can work elastic here at this point here before you turn the lining. So this part is going to have a lining, and then your lining, you will cut it at this half point too. You make a half lining like this to use it to turn in order to have a smooth. Let me show you what I mean. This is how the back of this dress is. Hold on 1 minute, hold up. This is how the back of the dress is, and this is how the front of the dress is. If you want to make it as neat and as beautiful as this, you will need a lining. So the lining, if you cut at this point here, you're going to have your lining as short as this for this place suit. And I think this is the best place to stop your lining. And don't forget to also line this side. I use a tool to line this bustier comb strap, so you can do the same thing. And we have gotten to the end of our tutorials.
So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. I feel this pain, you